Welcome back. For today's deep dive, we're heading into the heartland, rural Iowa, a place where the days are slow and the fields, they hide some very deep secrets.
That's right. And we're not just talking about any secret. We're looking at a narrative that has become a kind of modern legend. It's known as the Iowa Offering.
It all centers on a small-town cop, Officer Brims, the kind of guy whose days are usually just completely uneventful, monotonous.
Until the phone rings. It's a call from local farmer, Bill Hastings. And this isn't a man prone to dramatics, so when he says the Barnes family is missing, Brims knows it's real.
Yeah, and this is where the dread starts to creep in, because missing doesn't really cover it. The Barnes family, they're the picture of normal, the kind of people you'd see in a Rockwell painting.
But they're gone. And the scene makes no sense. The house is all lit up, their cars in the driveway, the livestock are all penned up.
It's wrong. Something is deeply, fundamentally wrong, not just missing.
So Brims starts the drive out west. Yeah. And the story really paints a picture here. Just monotonous fields and these giant wind turbines. It describes them as skeletal sentinels turning against this bleeding orange and purple sunset.
And out in that encroaching dark, there's the house, glowing, like a beacon.
Yeah.
It's a deceptive one.
Absolutely. When he gets there, he kills the engine, and the first thing that hits him is the silence.
A profound silence, yeah.
All he can hear is the wind rustling the corn stalks. The script says their leaves were whispering like unseen voices.
Even the insects are quiet, which is never a good sign. The whole world has just gone silent around this one property.
He gets out of the car and notices something else. The car's tires, they're sunken into the ground.
Oh, wow.
Like it hasn't moved in a very, very long time. It's the first physical clue that something is really off of the timeline here.
So it goes to the front door.
It's unlocked. It just swings open with a soft, ominous creak. And the inside, it's a contradiction.
Oh.
Well, he gets this faint smell of cooked meat, something herbal like rosemary. It should be comforting.
Right, the smell of a family home.
Exactly. But the house itself is pristine. There's no dust, no clutter, no sign of daily life. It's sterile. Cozy, but sterile.
The story says the house seems to swallow sound.
It does. And that feeling leads him right to the dining room, to the tablet.
This is the part that just, it's the heart of the initial shock.
It really is.
Yeah.
The entire Barnes family, mother, father, 2 children, they're all seated at the table.
Just sitting there.
Heads bowed, hands folded neatly in their laps, perfectly, unnaturally still.
And the food is still on their plates, untouched, but it's fresh.
Sickeningly fresh. He has this instinct to move, to do something. But he says there's this heavy, unseen pressure in the air holding him back.
And then he looks up.
Yeah. Carved into the ceiling, right above the table.
A pentagram.
Not neat either. The description says deep, uneven gashes. It's violent.
It is. This wasn't some quiet passing. This was an act, a ritual. And that's when the final detail just clicks into place. The empty chair.
The empty chair. 4 bodies, but 5 plates have been set perfectly at the table. 1 place is just waiting.
He checks them, of course, verifies it. Skin's cool, stiff, no pulse. And he makes the call for backup, his voice tight. But they're 25 minutes out.
25 minutes. Yeah. Alone in that house. So he makes a decision.
He decides to check the rest of the house. He can't just stand there.
And here's another great detail. The first floor is perfect, right?
Yeah.
The fridge is full, everything's clean. But the stairs...
they're different.
Completely. The first few steps are cracked and smoothed down. Heavily used. Unlike any other part of this pristine first floor, something or someone has been going up and down those stairs. A lot.
So he goes up, and as soon as he crosses the threshold to the second floor, that illusion of perfection it shatters.
Gone. Instantly. There's dust everywhere. A faint, damp smell of rotting wood.
Yeah.
The domestic horror downstairs gives way to something older, something that's decaying.
And he finds the photograph.
On a small hallway table. This is the moment the monster is revealed. It's a photo of the Barnes family. They're smiling, sitting at that same dinner table.
But the 5th chair isn't empty.
No, it's occupied.
And the description of what's in that chair, it's just so deeply wrong.
It's grotesque. Not a person, a mass of flesh. It's warped, bulbous, sort of like a grotesque child. The skin is stretched so tight it looks like it's about to burst.
And the family in the picture, they're beaming at it. They're smiling at this thing.
That's the real horror of the photo. They welcomed it.
That photograph explains so much, but the trail continues into the master bedroom.
And the atmosphere shifts again, violently. The second he opens the door, he's hit with this thick, sharp smell.
Copper.
Blood. An overwhelming amount of it. The sheets, the mattress, the floor, everything is soaked through with this dark, wet stain that's just crept outward.
But there's no body, no sign of a struggle.
No, because the blood wasn't taken. It was given. An intentional release.
And right there, on the nightstand, is the explanation. A leather-bound journal. Open.
And we get these frantic, desperate entries from the mother. It starts on March 4th, the pain of loss, a doctor's visit, they lost a child.
The human anchor for all this supernatural horror, grief.
And you see her descend into it. March 14th. She writes about finding something. A ritual in an old book.
To unbury the lost, the body must be claimed, the name must be called, the invitation must be set, the flesh will answer.
It's a recipe, and she follows it. By March 19th, she's digging at a grave, ignoring warnings from everyone. She is completely consumed.
And then the price. March 29th. The final steps require an offering, something from us, something of flesh.
And you immediately understand the scene in the bedroom. That blood wasn't from a murder. It was a resource, a tax.
The final entry is April 2nd. It just says, it worked. He came back. We are whole again.
The second that journal drops from Officer Brims' hands, the house wakes up.
The silence is broken.
A door creaks downstairs. And then he hears it, a low, wet, rattling breath echoing up from the first floor.
The walls groan. The wooden beams settle with this unnatural creak.
And then a voice, a disgusting version of a baby's voice. Low, warped, trying to sound like a child, but just failing horribly.
Then the whole house shakes. A sudden, violent tremor. He hears chairs scraping across the floor downstairs, plates clattering.
The heavy breathing gets louder. And that smell of damp rot and decay starts wafting up the stairs.
He has to go down. He has to get out. He reaches the archway to the dining room, and he hears wet chewing, smacking lips.
And he sees it, hunched over a plate. It's massive, way bigger than it was in the photo. Bulbous, with pale, slick skin and purple veins. It's so swollen it can't move properly. It's stuck down there.
It's trapped on the first floor.
Its hand freezes mid-motion.
And its head turns.
Slowly, mechanically. And these black, soulless eyes lock right onto him.
And the sound it makes.
It's not human, not animal. A wet gurgling, the story says. Thick like something drowning in its own throat. A bubbling, choking howl.
It lunges, splintering the dining table. He fires his gun.
But the bullets just sink into its flesh like it's mud. They have no effect at all. This thing is not from our world. It doesn't obey our rules.
So he runs. He bolts for the door. The whole house is groaning and buckling under the weight of this thing, dragging itself after him, breaking everything in its path.
And just as he bursts through the front door, he sees it. A flash of red and blue light. Back up.
They're here.
And they don't hesitate. It's just this instantaneous, deafening barrage of gunfire. Shotgun blasts. And for the first time, the creature screams again.
But this one is different.
Yeah, it's primal. It's a sound of something realizing for the very first time that it can actually be hurt.
And then it just collapses. The narrative says it crumples like a rotten pumpkin. This massive, grotesque body finally goes still.
But the real chilling part isn't the monster. It's what happens next. The cover-up. It's swift and it's brutal.
The lead investigator shows up, man in a suit, tired eyes, and he gives one cold command.
Forget this ever happened.
And just like that, reality is denied. Unmarked black trucks roll up. Men in plain uniforms move with this eerie, silent precision.
There are no coroner reports. No bodies are officially taken away. The Barnes family is buried within the hour.
And the official story, the one that makes the local paper.
A quiet, false obituary. A tragic gas leak.
But they do one last thing. An act of total erasure that just, it sticks with you.
They salt the earth, the entire property, so that nothing, absolutely nothing, could ever take root there again.
They were just cleaning up a scene. They were purging the very soil. A recognition that what happened there wasn't just physical, it was spiritual, corrosive.
It leaves this permanent scar on the map, a place that's now just fundamentally wrong. And you have to go back to that final journal entry. We are whole again.
Yeah. Did they really get their lost child back in that monstrous form?
Or did their grief just open a door? Did they just set an extra place at the table for something else entirely, something that was just waiting for an invitation?
And willing to answer as long as an offering of flesh was on the table.
That's the question, isn't it? It leaves you with this unsettling thought that some secrets aren't buried, they're burned away, scorched from the earth. And you just have to hope the wind doesn't carry their whispers across those empty, salted fields to someone else who's desperate enough to listen.
A thought to hold on to until our next deep dive.